Hello there, and welcome to Embracing Change. Tonight we've got a great topic. It's called Memories Are Made of This. Now, don't think you know right away what direction it's going off in, because you may be surprised by how powerful our memories can be in our lives. So, I'm excited about that. A couple other things I wanted to talk about first. Of course, we'll get to the National Day calendar. Well, remember it was like 2 videos ago, I was talking about hollandaise sauce. And I also was talking about Marvel the Mustang, the little horse you could sit on and make it spring operated so it would move forward. Well, would you believe I watched Worst Cooks in America that night? And would you believe that the contestants were making hollandaise sauce, and they broke it, and they broke it, and also they had this little cowboy theme, so they had to ride these little fake horses up and down. And I was like, they weren't Marvel the Mustang-ish. Like I say, I'm not sure if they still make that or decided it was dangerous or whatever. But I just thought that was, we call that divine order, that things unfold in the universe in an orderly fashion, and it never stops working out in an orderly fashion. What matters is whether or not we pay attention. Where is our mind? Back years and years ago, they would have on TV, you'd be watching TV, and all of a sudden a thing would come on and it would say, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? And usually I knew exactly where my children were. That was a good thing. But very often our mind is not engaged when we are doing something, and so we're not seeing how it works together. In the Bible it says all things work together for those who love the Lord. And when you look at that metaphysically, it means that the Lord being law, the law being the main law, cause and effect, the law of mind action, the things we hold in mind manifest. That's why one time, if we're not paying attention to what's going in our lives, we wonder, why does this thing I don't like happening keep happening to me? Why doesn't it stop? So today we're going to talk about that kind of stuff. So to me, it was divine order that my mind was thinking about, the hollandaise sauce and everything before I did the message. And oddly, or not oddly enough, because there really are no coincidences, then it showed up on TV. It happened again with the National Day calendar. Yesterday, I started the little series I'm doing on 1 is a whole number, being successfully single. And would you believe today is National Singles Awareness Day. Now, people have been being single since time began, and yet it always had a negative connotation with it. You're single, therefore there's something wrong with you, there, blah, 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 blah. You're not desirable, you're an old maid. Oh, that was horrible. And of course, we'd play old maid as kids, and the old maid was always a crotchety-looking old lady. You know what? What if they made the old maid a beautiful, powerful woman? Now, that's a game that we could play. But it was just quite amazing to me that I was talking about something and started something. Now, think about this. If we consistently hold pictures in our mind of how we would like our world to be, we hold those images, and then we would be attuned to the divine order of the universe, and we would catch those ideas and manifest them for good. We always manifest, whether that's positive or negative, is up to the types of thoughts we hold. That's why it's really, really helpful to make a habit of meditation, prayer, taking some time to just be still. And I call it the divine download. I say, okay, God, I am ready for the divine download. And I just let my other thoughts slip away. And I know, because I ask, I will receive. So you see, even this is a divine idea. Amazing. Start a single series. There it is, National Singles Awareness Day. That cracked me up. And you hear Tishy, and I have to go and put her up on the bed because she's crying. So hang on a minute. Okay, baby, I come in. I come in, precious kitty cat. I come in. There you go. Yes, I feel like a new mother. I haven't gotten any good sleep ever since, she started her physical issues, because she wakes me up probably 2 or 3 times during the night to pick her up from the floor and put her on the bed, take her from the bed and put her on the floor. And you know what? I'm just going with it. I'm going to do my best for my precious kitty as I can. And it's the same thing I would want. That do unto others thing, that applies to each one of us too. Okay. Well, so today we're going to talk a little bit about memories and the power they have. And I'm going to tell you about something that happened this morning. Did you ever try to get, I recycle, and I hope you do too, but when I recycle, you're not supposed to leave anything dirty. You're supposed to clean it before you recycle it. So, I had reached the bottom of the peanut butter jar. That was hard enough in itself, because it was a big jar. And just the tip of the knife goes down there, and then I want to get out every drop. Not because I'm a cheapskate, although I am prudent, but I wanted to get everything I could out of it, because there's such a pain in the neck to clean. So what I do typically is I run hot water in a jar, and I will put a little soap in, and I'll shake it, and then I have to change it and wipe it out, because it just doesn't do the best job. So I had this jar of peanut butter I was done with, and I put some water in it, and I'm shaking it, and I'm going, the little soap and a little water. Oh, this is so annoying. Then I thought, I wonder if degreaser would work. Now, my sister gave me some degreaser a little while ago. She had an extra bottle. This stuff isn't cheap, but it's worth its weight in gold, I'll tell you that. So I just put a little tiny bit of degreaser into the jar, shook it up, and the peanut butter came out completely. So I kept the water in there because I wanted to show you that tonight, because I wanted to show that this works so well. And a lot of people don't even know about it, but I know. I got a reason for going there, okay? So what I want to tell you is that our thoughts work in like a chain. One links to another, links to another, links to another. And so in my links, my chain links of thought this morning was when I did the peanut butter, it was like, oh my stars. And then I looked at the bottle of Stanley degreaser, and I thought about the days when, I just want to tilt that a little bit. I thought about the days when we would have home parties. We had Stanley, we had Fuller Brush, we had Tupperware, and most of the stuff was actually things you were going to use, and they were not overpriced, and they were very well made if you had a good company. I mean, I used to have toy parties. The toy parties, they were not necessarily the best, because not all those toys, didn't take my kids that long to break some of them. But the idea was we were getting together with friends. Of course, we were having a snack. You get together, you got to have a snack, and tea or coffee. And in those days, it would typically not be wine or whatever. I don't know if I've changed, we've changed, whatever, but we would have something, you know, coffee or whatever, and we would have our, the matter of fact, as I've told you before, I have been a Tupperware lady. I did Stanley Products very, very briefly. And I did Coppercraft Guild. I was always selling something. Now, a lot of times you think salesperson, you think, dude, bad salesperson, get away from me. But I sold wonderful things with my intention, which is the mission that's in my heart and soul, to help people make their lives better. So whatever you're doing, it can be like a ministry because you are helping people have better lives. And I've said it before, even the garbage man, he's making the world a better, cleaner, safer place. He is got his trash ministry, whatever it is. Okay, back to my chain links. So I thought about the parties and how much fun they were. And then I thought about, does Stanley Home Products, do they still sell them? Because when they stopped, you know, home parties a number of years ago, you kind of forgot about it. So I decided to look up the Stanley products. Oh, and they're there, and that's very exciting. Then I thought about how wonderful Fuller Brush was. And that was not a home party thing. That was a door-to-door salesman, which, you know, God help any door-to-door salesman out there today, because nobody wants to go near them, let them in, even before the pandemic. You know, it's like, get away, don't bother me, and was it even safe? But I went to look at the Fuller Brush page because, see how the chains are working? You know, Tishy has become incontinent, and I want to make sure that I keep everything nice and clean. And I needed a little carpet cleaner. So I looked to see if Fuller Brush had anything, and they didn't have what I needed. But they were still there, and that really excited me. They're very good products. I'll tell you about my hairbrush story the other day. I'll tell you that another time. But Fuller Brush makes good hairbrushes. So anyway, so then after that, I began to think about how powerful memories are in our lives. So we started with a dirty peanut butter jar. We went to degreaser. We went to home parties and how wonderful they were. And it was such fun to get together with the girls, and, you know, and it goes on and on. And that was just wonderful. And then I thought, it's so sad that we don't do those kind of things much anymore. And should we be? Should we not be? A lot of the stuff has gotten so overpriced. Like, I would not want to offend anybody, but like Pampered Chef and like that, it's, you know, you go to a party and you try to figure out something small you can afford to buy so that you feel like you're supporting your hostess. And then a lot of times they want you to have a party or they want you to start selling. Ugh. But it used to be a lot of fun. When the focus was not so much about money, money, money. Because that's really what it's come down to. It's everything is about how much money you can make, multi-level marketing, and it's pretty sad. We went from addressing a need, because back then for homemakers, women, you know, most women were homemakers. There was a number of women that were working in the field, but most people were homemakers. And that's neither saying people should be at home homemaking or should not be at home homemaking. What it's saying is it's an honorable profession that shouldn't be looked at down the nose. So because we had children and stuff at home, going shopping all the time, and that was like a pain in the neck. So having our little home parties gave us a chance to get together, have some fun, you know, and do a little shopping for things that we needed anyway. And sometimes things we didn't need or we didn't know we needed. So that did lead me to believe, what can we do today to be able to get together with our friends more often when the pandemic starts to leave us alone, which it will do sooner or later. You know, those memories are really as good as time travel to the past. Now, you can go to a scary past, an unpleasant past, or you can go to a pleasant past. You can think of the great things in your life. If you keep your mind focused on the good, you're going to find you're creating. You're literally creating your life and the world you live in by keeping your thoughts positive, by giving thanks. That's a part of my daily prayer, is I write down 5 things I'm grateful for and why. The and why is the very important part, because it's a link, the past to the present to the future. So through our memories, we are able to recreate to create a future based on what worked in the past. Not everything works again, but the trick in memories is trying to figure out why that didn't work. You know, you just keep trying to make something work and it doesn't. Well, chances are, somewhere in there, you're not in alignment with the creative process. And the creative process is, we get an idea. When we open our mind, this is really important, okay? If we keep our minds open to the higher consciousness, we will get good ideas, good feelings, good things. Now, we can also turn our focus. They say the mind is pivotal. So if we turn our focus down toward the earthly things, we may find pain and suffering. This is why we must be informed about what's going on in the world, but to then lift our minds up to the higher consciousness, which is the realm of all possibility. And if we don't learn to turn our mind to all possibility, we'll be missing some great opportunities to the world is going to get better and better eventually, but it depends on how much we are willing to learn from our mistakes. How do we learn from our mistakes? What if you forgot about it? What if you completely forgot about it, or you never thought about it, or you didn't take the time to acknowledge what was going wrong and that maybe you had a part of that? Could be. Because finding out we have a part of it means we have the power to make it better. I mean, I think that's great. I want to show you something about the world. This is the world in my little Play-Doh container. I have many containers of Play-Doh because my great-grandson Tristan and I play with it all the time. Well, not all the time, a lot, when we have our video visits on the portal. Our mind can be like this lovely purple Play-Doh. Our mind is malleable. It's formable. Our thoughts and our memories are formed by our mind. See, and this is funny. If you have siblings, this is a great thing you will discover if you have a little talk about the past, the memories, whatever. You're going to find that you had the same experience, the same event happened, and you may have 2 totally different opinions of what happened at that time. And chances are, they may be very different based on how you remember them and why you remember that, why you hold it in memory. One may find something very upsetting let's say you were in school and you had an exercise where you had to get up and speak in front of the class, book report or those kind of things that they would make us do, show and tell, which they really should do a lot of because the kids need to be able to communicate. Well, give me that jab. I'm up there putting on my own show. Tell my sister to do that. And once she gets going, she has a good time, but she really gets a lot more nervous than I do. So I could look back and say, oh, it was so great. They had a pop quiz. That was another thing. I love tests. I know, probably something wrong with me, but I love tests. And I did pretty well with them. And a lot of people, they have test anxiety. One of my friends has test anxiety. She can know something inside and out, but if she has to take a test about it, she is destroyed. Okay, so I took some time here to squish out this lovely purple piece of Play-Doh. This is how I can form it. Now, you don't want your life to be a cookie cutter life. We are pretending this is a cookie cutter. So if you let someone else tell you how you should live your life, what you should do, you're going to have their image and likeness of who you should be, which would also leave a big hole in the image and likeness of all you were created to be. Because I can shape this Play-Doh by pushing it with my hands. We shape our experiences with our minds, and our memories help us to remember how we did that. And I can shape it, let's say, into all right, I'm not an artist, that's my sister who doesn't like to publicly speak. But I can make a pretty rose. Someone else could make a scary spider or snake. So you see, we shape our lives, and then collectively, this is really important, collectively we shape our world. If you're letting, this is what they call let George do it. If you sit back on the sidelines and say, well, let George do it. I haven't got the time. Let so-and-so vote. Let them vote because I can't be bothered. They're all a bunch of liars anyway. Who then is shaping our future? Are you being an active participant in shaping your future, or is somebody else? How about the way you dress? Who's dictating the way you dress? Who's telling you the way that you should be? Look back in your memories, look at your old pictures, and see the way you used to dress. Get out that yearbook. Check out your hair, your clothes, because a lot of that is pretty hilarious. At the time, we thought we were gorgeous. Big old teased up things. That one I didn't do very often, although for a while I did do a beehive. Actually, I'm sure that if any of you are like close to my age, you probably ironed your hair before. I used to have long hair down past my waist, and I wanted it straight, and it was wavy, so I'd put my head near the ironing board, spread the hair out on it, and I would iron it. Ooh, I'm glad I got past that one. I'd like you to spend some time thinking about your memories and how they have shaped your life. Look back and see if there's things that you forgot about and want to bring back in. Using our memories to help shape our future is kind of like riding a bike. You look for the things that felt good and felt real, and then you can recreate them. No, you're not going to ever have the figure of a 18-year-old Barbie, whatever. You will still be you, but you'll be the best you, co-creating with the divine a wonderful life. So when you embrace change, you accept your ability and your responsibility to shape the future, individually and collectively. Now, I think that was just about everything I wanted to talk about, but I did want to do a quick mad world moment, which I've become liking. And in the news, I read that a Catholic priest resigned because he was reprimanded, and what did they do? They voided thousands of his christenings because when he put the water on the baby's head, he would say, "We christen thee," and not, "I christen thee." Now, I don't recall the article saying why he said "we" instead of "I," but if you read the Bible, you'll notice that God frequently refers to God's self as "we." And I think that sometimes we take God and we try to make God into our image and likeness instead of trying to be the image and likeness of God that we are here to be and we have the potential to be. So I ache for that priest's, condition that he had to leave the job. I'm sure he did it with the purest of intentions, and I'm sure that every one of those baptisms was blessed by the Holy Spirit, in whose name he said, "In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit." Well, God bless him and God bless us all. Have an adventure till we see each other again by exploring your memories and what your memories are made of and what you make of them. Take care. Oh, and if you want to check back in like 10 minutes, we will be doing One is a Whole Number. Successfully Single. Today we're talking about liberation from loneliness. Bye-bye.